This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on this Trivia Thursday. Hope you guys can hear me. There was some issues with my sound, my microphone earlier. So hopefully in the chat, let me know if I sound loud enough to you. But I tried to turn it up a little bit, and I rebooted my computer during the two shows. So hopefully things sound a little bit better. I don't know. But if you can't hear me or if I need to turn my volume up, let me know. Thank you for that. Looks like Liz says she can hear me. Okay, I like it. Thank you. Then we're going to move straight ahead. So here's the craziest thing that happened. I was mentioning to you guys previously that every afternoon I cut up little snippets of the show. They're called shorts. They're like 60-second little things that are posted on YouTube. And it's supposed to be like a little taste of the show. And then, you know, people that see them might want to subscribe, which is fantastic. And usually I'll get maybe 500 views, and that's pretty good. The other day, I did this story. Remember the story that we talked about the woman who gave birth at the seafood restaurant? So I put a short out about that, and it got more than 10,000 views. I don't know why that one instead of other shorts, but I guess that one was pretty popular. And so it's led to more subscribers, which is great because, as you know, I've also mentioned really trying to hit that 2,000 mark. And I don't know why it's so important to me, but it just feels like a milestone. And I know it's ridiculous because what does it really matter? But I'm trying to do it nonetheless. So maybe I'm trying to occupy my mind with something. I don't know. But so this short brought in at least another 10 subscribers, and it pushed us ever closer, because I say us because we're all kind of invested in this hanging out together and the success of the show, right? So it pushes us ever closer to this 2,000 mark, and we're now at 1,980. So 20 more to go, and we're there. It's happening. It's happening, people. It's happening. So I'm kind of excited about that. Well, thank you for joining me today for the After Party Live on this Trivia Thursday. We're going to shake up trivia a little bit today. It's going to be kind of Family Feud style, as far as there will be multiple answers, and it depends on what you guess as to the ranking of the answers. So we'll do that a little bit later in the show. And I deserve 100K. All right, well, I'll take 100K. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who has contributed to, and thank you for reminding me, the show PayPal link. And I know I try to only mention it once per show, but I just can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. We've got Wes, who jumped in today with 5, Ms. Organic with 20, Wes yesterday with 5, Donald with 30, Janet W with 11, Wes again with another 5. So those are just from the last couple of days. Huge appreciation. The PayPal link is in the show description and also the About tab. So I can't tell you how much it helps to keep me doing this instead of having to drive to San Francisco for the real paycheck. So huge thank you for all the help. All right, let's get the show started, or we're not going to have time for trivia. All right. I'll get myself back together here. Let's first start with spelling. Are you guys good spellers? I enjoy Scrabble, or Words with Friends, and the is it etymology of words? And so the origin of words. And so I found this story about the I don't know, I could say the states that have the most challenges in the United States spelling, right? And so this is a story about maybe, who needs a little work on the whole spelling situation, I think. Not all of us are good spellers, and that's okay. We don't all have to be good spellers. It's all right if we're not. The story talks about which words states are searching for the most. 9 states were found searching for words with 11 or more letters, with the word strawberries being the strongest misspelled word on the list in Idaho. Idaho has trouble with strawberries. Wisconsin and Virginia had trending searches for 4 words with 4 letters, Wisconsinites asking how to spell ally, and Virginians checking in on the word said. Ally I can understand. Said? Yeah, okay. Texas and Arkansas looked for physique and exercise. Physique? All right, I could get that one. A few states seem to be confused about how to spell the names of their fellow states. Maryland folks searched up how to spell Pennsylvania. Nebraska was unsure how to spell California. And Utah struggled with Mississippi. Mississippi. How do you not know that? I mean, didn't we learn that? And yeah, okay. Pennsylvania needed to know how to spell mountain. Here in California, we searched the most for how to spell pretty. Mississippi asked about the word nervous. And Hawaii struggled the most with spelling the name of the country Philippines. That's, there's a couple P's in there. Could be a double L, but there isn't. So I could see why that would be confusing. America also, when it comes to the military, often searches about how to spell the word colonel. That word is trending in North Carolina and in Arizona. And New Hampshire, it seems, may have searched for the word tortured the most over the last year, but they don't know if it's because of Taylor Swift's new album, The Tortured Poets Department, or if it's for another reason. Maybe there's some torture going on there. I don't know. Overall, Americans had a few questions about how to spell the word color, or if it's color, like the UK way, COLOUR. We also, as a country, searched capital versus capitol. So, capital city versus capital like money. I don't know. Capital with an AL versus an OL. Again, the capital is a city or town. Capitol is a building that the government meets in. The capital city versus the capitol. Anyway. So this is the challenges that we have spelling in America. And that's okay, And this map indicates what the length of the words we're searching for would be. So are we having trouble spelling the long words or the short words? Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. How about this little snake that was caught in a teacup? This one's so sad when you look at it. Try to squish through the handle area of the teacup, and it didn't go well. The snake gets stuck right in there, which is a total bummer for the snake and for the people that had to help. They had to try to snap that handle to get the snake out. This pet snake from Michigan, they had to call the firefighters out because it tried to slither through the handle of this miniature teacup, and it got wedged in there. This happened in Lansing, Michigan. A mother and a daughter actually brought the snake and the teacup down to the fire station in this situation. The daughter was having a tea party when her pet snake decided to, they say, join in, but got stuck in the cup. So the firefighters cut through the teacup handle to free the snake, and then she went home and carried on with her tea party. But that's one you don't see every day. Yeah. How about this one? It's another bear situation. This bear's name is Oreo. Why? Because he stole some Oreos. Let's watch.
It was so close. That never happened before.
New at 4, neighbors in Monrovia reacting after a familiar bear makes an appearance and breaks into a home.
There he is.
Grizzly calmly making its way in and out of that house through a window.
Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter live in Monrovia, where she spoke with people living in that area about that wandering bear. Leanne.
Yeah, that's right. Bear visits are nothing new here in Monrovia, especially here in this neighborhood. But one bear in particular has earned a very distinctive nickname after several break-ins. I'm going to show you how he got into the house. Take a look over my shoulder here, and you can see that screen broken there on the window. Well, that's how he got in search of his favorite snack. Just take a look at this. This is Oreo, as the bear has been dubbed, and you can clearly see why. That big bear broke into the home on North Canyon Crest Drive yesterday. Neighbors capturing the sight on camera. The animal coming out with its favorite snack in its mouth. As you can see, the bear isn't tagged, and it also isn't the first time a bear has targeted that home in particular. Neighbors say last week, a bear who appears to be much smaller broke into the resident's car, taking out groceries found inside, including, once again, those treasured Oreos.
The last 10 years, they have, particularly the bear, have become more bold and have assumed more territory as their own.
Now that he actually broke into the house, it's a bit scary. Especially like I feel now like he cannot leave a window open or even with the screen because he literally took the screen out. So that's a little alarming for me.
Vina had her own encounter with a bear last year when she left the garage door open and a bear came in and opened the refrigerator to get a chocolate cake inside. It's unclear if it is the same bear from yesterday's break-in, but residents believe it is, and some are wondering if it is now time to relocate the bear, if it can be trapped, and move it on since it now has a propensity for those Oreos and those break-ins in order to get its favorite snack. Live in Monrovia.
A propensity for Oreos. Well, you know, I can't really blame that bear. And chocolate cake in the fridge, it happens. In Monrovia, though, who would have thought that Monrovia had such a bear issue? I guess they do. Let's talk about the lotto story of the day. This one is about a very lucky family. This man from Kentucky won $50,000 in the lottery, and it happened 3 months after his daughter won more than $150,000 in a lottery jackpot. Back-to-back lotto winners in the same family. That's crazy. And so the man said he bought his ticket from the Zip Zone. He said he bought his weekly Powerball tickets from another store for 25 years, but he made an unusual stop at the Zip Zone. So that's where he thought, I'll buy my ticket in this area. The Powerball win, came 3 months after his daughter won $150,000 at the Merry Money Bonus Jackpot instant play game online. He said it was the daughter who first found out about the $50,000 Powerball ticket sold at the Zip Zone. She texted her mom, but said it wasn't sold where Dad normally buys his tickets, so it can't be him. But then he scans his ticket at the store the next morning. It comes up $50,000. He said he was numb. So they were all so excited. But talk about good fortune for one family. Wild. I mean, you don't usually win anything, let alone 2 big wins in one family like that. Well, here's another lucky situation. This one involving a charm that a family thought was lost for good. And then they found it on eBay. This is a great story. Here you go.
You're shopping online.
Yeah, but as news specialist Andrew Adams shows us, a St. George woman recently discovered a long-lost connection to her past.
It's definitely foreign. You can't see the year even.
Photos usually tell the stories of our loved ones.
This is how they looked. That was around 44.
And these tell the stories of Agnes and Bill, mom and stepdad.
In this picture, he's a lieutenant. That's when he's very young.
For Joan Ellis, though, the story of her stepfather is told another way.
We received in the mail 2 charms, one to me and one to my mother.
This is one of the charms he sent for Valentine's while at war in New Guinea in 1944. And the other.
When my mother passed away, probably the charm got taken.
Joan believed it was lost decades ago. And then recently,
She likes to look at the value of everything. And if there's something to be found, she finds it.
While sitting at her keyboard searching,
Well, I Google everything.
she couldn't believe what she spotted.
Up popped this one charm, and it said to my wife, and that's what my mother's charm said.
The charm was so unmistakably familiar that her daughters bought it off eBay for Joan's Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, I mean, the same coin, same year, same writing, same design. And so I said, that's my mom's charm.
The family now firmly believes it's the lost charm that somehow wound up in the hands of a seller in California.
And she said, yeah, it was just at a flea market. A gal was getting rid of all of her stuff, and that was one of the things.
One of those things, a keepsake filled with memories.
I mean, it's just traveled from New Guinea to Georgia to somehow, California, and now us.
Who would have predicted someone could have found that on eBay?
It's a story of hearts coming back together, where both physically and literally she has a memory back, and we have this to continue on in our family for decades, years to come.
Well, the family says that Joan plans to put the two charms in a shadow box along with a story of what happened for future generations. So there you go.
Pretty cool. I mean, what are the chances of finding something like that on eBay? Just wild. Let's talk about this Google Doodle. We've been talking together about this whole cicada emerging two of the broods at once. Well, Google's decided to celebrate that with a cicada Google Doodle. It's the first time in more than 200 years, we know, that two broods of cicadas came up or are coming up from the earth at the same time. And in celebration, Google has this little Google Doodle that they've put together. They say Illinois and other surrounding states will get to witness these two groups together. One of them comes out every 17 years and one every 13 years. And now we get to see them, not we in California, thank goodness. In the Midwest, they get to see them together. So these cicadas look a lot happier than the ones that are coming out of the ground, I think. These are singing, dancing cicadas. I don't know. In New York, it's Manhattanhenge time yet again. It's this really interesting phenomenon where the sun aligns with the streets in New York. It happens twice a year. And thousands of people come out for this photo op where you can see the sun setting right between the high rises. Look at see all the lights, all the people with their cell phones trying to capture this amazing picture. They say you just really have to be at the right place at the right time. This week, people tried to catch it on Tuesday, and then it was supposed to happen again last night, which it looks like it did. They say the best days this week to see it were Sunset Wednesday, last night, and then also Friday, July 12th. At around 8:20 p.m. Eastern. So there's another chance for people. But how cool is this? Manhattanhenge. It's a big deal. And it's kind of almost like you want to say it builds community as well. There's another shot of it. You can see when the sun just is in that perfect spot right between those glittering buildings. And it's supposed to be really, really quite the sight. It's a story about girls that are starting their menstrual cycle younger and younger and younger. I talked to Belinda about this one time, and we kind of think maybe it's because of toxicity in the environment and in what we eat. So hormones in what we eat as well. But a study was done showing that this is indeed the case. And I didn't want to put feminine hygiene products as the picture, so it's just me this time. This study says girls born between 2000 and 2005 started their periods an average age of 11.9 years old. That's half a year earlier than the average of 12 and a half years old for girls born between 1950 and 1969. This study was reported in the journal JAMA Network Open. The latest generation, they say, was also more likely to start menstruation early. 15.5% versus 8.6%, and very early, 1.4% versus 0.6%. So across the board, it's just happening earlier. The early onset is associated with a higher risk of adverse health outcomes, like cardiovascular disease and cancer as well. That, according to a researcher with the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health in Boston. The researchers there found all women are experiencing earlier menstruation, but those who are poor or racial minority were even more likely to start their periods at a younger age, which kind of goes to that whole toxicity in the environment, right? Because we know that things like refineries are often put in communities that are not as wealthy. So the findings, they say, indicate that to address these health concerns, which may impact more people with disproportionate on the disadvantaged populations, that they need to do more research into menstrual health. They looked at 71,000 women in this study. So this was a big deal. The researchers divided them into age brackets. They say a girl's first menstrual period is defined as early if it happens before the age of 11, very early if it happens before the age of 9, and late if it comes in at age 16 or older. And researchers found that as birth year increased, the average age of a girl's first period decreased. They also found it taking girls longer for the cycles to become regular as well, which is something else that's concerning. A girl's weight appears to partially explain why periods are starting earlier. In other words, childhood obesity, already known to be a risk factor for early puberty, could also be contributing to earlier menstruation. They also say dietary patterns, stress, adverse childhood experiences, environmental factors like air pollution and chemicals that disrupt hormones all could play into this. So, interesting study about that. And last story before we get into trivia is this interesting study about tattoo ink and a potential link to lymphoma. Now, I don't want to say that it's for sure, and the study doesn't say that either, but it's interesting to explore. I once read a story about where tattoo ink that sometimes the body can collect ends up, and that possibly it could end up in the liver. But this story is about the connection between tattoo ink and consequences. So I wanted to try to get the picture in as well. Anyway, let's get to the study. Let's get right to the study. The study says that tattoo ink spurs inflammatory changes that could contribute to the development of lymphoma. They do say the findings are early. They say they need to do more research on this to really confirm anything. This research done in Sweden. And they say people likely want to continue expressing themselves through tattoo art. And it's really important as a society then to make sure that it is safe. This is from Lund University. They say for the individual, it's good to know tattoos can affect your health and that you should turn to your healthcare provider if you experience any symptoms that you think could be related to your tattoo. Here's the study. They sent out questionnaires that were filled out by about 4,200 adults, 1,400 of whom had developed lymphoma between the ages of 20 and 60. And they said after taking into account other relevant factors like smoking and age, they found the risk of developing lymphoma was 21% higher among people that were tattooed. The takeaway, they said, is it's important to remember that lymphoma is a rare disease and that their results apply at the group level. The results now need to be verified and investigated further in other studies, and the research, they say, is ongoing. But the researchers were wondering if the size of a tattoo, or multiple tattoos, would influence the risk. They say they found no difference in lymphoma risk whether the tattooed area was large or small. Weird. They say we don't know why this is the case. One can only speculate that a tattoo, regardless of size, triggers a low-grade inflammation in the body, which then can trigger cancer. The picture, they say, is a little more complicated than they initially thought. So they said they already know that when the tattoo ink is injected into the skin, the body interprets it as something foreign that shouldn't be there. And so then you get an immune response and your immune system is activated. But a large part of the ink is transported away from the skin to the lymph nodes where then it's deposited. Nielsen's group says they plan more study on whether tattoos might have links to other forms of cancer as well. The study published in the June issue of eClinical Medicine. And again, this study out of Sweden, and the researcher's name is Christel Nielsen from Lund University. So if anyone's interested in that. All right, time for something happier. Here we go, because it's Trivia Thursday. Woohoo! You guys ready to play? Yeah, let's do it. Here we go. We'll start it. You guys ready? I'm seeing all here. Let's talk about this for just a second. Teacher Lori says, yeah, lymphatic system and liver filters for all toxins. So it makes sense. All right, here we go. Trivia Thursday, after party style. The first question, and again, this is going to be kind of Family Feud style, is there's multiple correct answers, but which one is the top one? All right. The first one is, what is the most embarrassing thing for that most people say happened during a job interview? There are 4 answers listed. The top most embarrassing thing to happen during a job interview. 4 things. Yep. Okay. Walter's ready. You farted. Excellent answer. And farting is not on the list. No. I think that would be an excellent answer, but that was not on the list, and I don't really know why. Because it would seem like burped, farted, barfed, farted, passing gas, booger, all of these things. Yes, be aware, forgetting the name of the company is number 2 on the list. Forgetting the name of the company. What else do you have? Open fly, good one. Heather's over here with the little toot toot. I'll give you the 4th one, which was under BA Wares. The 4th one was wearing mismatched socks. Is that embarrassing? The 3rd one is tripped and fell. The 2nd one is forgetting the company's or the interviewer's name. And the top most embarrassing thing to happen during a job interview, accidentally calling the interviewer mom. Really? That just seems interesting to me. All right. Name something that can be inflated or deflated. Get your mind out of the gutter. Name something that can be inflated or deflated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 answers on this one. Inflated or deflated. A tire, a rubber boot, a balloon, an air mattress, a balloon. Okay. The top answer is balloon. So everyone who said balloon, you got it right. Tire number 2, beach ball 3, ego 4, and raft number 5. Name a place that you stop going when you're broke. No money? This is what you stop doing. There are several answers for this one. See what you guys come up with. Where do you stop going when you're broke? A bar, Heather says. Dinner, a concert, restaurant, a bar, movies. All right, here's the answers. Here are the answers. I think you guys got it. Top place you stop going when you're broke is a restaurant. That is absolutely right. Everyone who said a restaurant, consider yourselves big winners here on the after party. Number 2, a mall or a store. Number 3 is the bar or nightclub. Number 4 is a casino. Number 5, the movies. 6, the bank. 7, a ball game. 8, the racetrack. A good thing. Stop going to the racetrack. Name something that a doctor might pull out of a person. Something a doctor might pull out of a person. Oh, we got to go. We got to stop for a second. Hold. Verdict has been reached in the Trump trial. Yeah, just in. The jury asked for an extra 30 minutes to fill out verdict forms. It looks like Eric Trump finally in the courtroom sitting behind his dad. And the judge says there is a verdict. Trump in court, the judge announcing there is a verdict in this case. The judge is asking for no reactions, no outbursts of any kind. And this is happening. So we don't know what the verdict is yet. It will be read in court shortly. But at this point, we know that a verdict has been reached. So, yeah. I'm going to text Mark Thompson and see if he wants to come on the show. Verdict in. I think we might need David Katz, too, when this verdict comes in. Anyway, the verdict is in, so we'll keep our eyes on what happens here. But until we do get the verdict, jury not hung. Well, we don't, yeah, I mean, one could assume, but well, let's wait. Lock your doors. You think? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I would like to think that people would go out rioting in the street. Blue Spark is hoping for guilty, guilty, guilty. Ren's getting a tummy ache over this whole thing. Teacher Lori says she thought it would be tomorrow. I have a kid pickup. I don't know how late I can go on. Where's cats when you need them? Exactly. Yeah. Going to try to. It was faster than expected, I will say. I'm going to send Mark the link to this show to see if, I don't know what he's up to right now, to see if maybe he wants to pop in. Send it to Cats as well. Verdict in. Link to after party. All right. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get him in. Maybe we won't. I don't know what everyone's up to, but the possibility exists that we could get some experts on the show. So the verdict is in, and that we knew it was coming. We were on verdict watch, and I mentioned earlier that CNN even had a little time ticker about how long it would take or how long the deliberations had been ongoing. So we know that the verdict is going to be read in court shortly, and we're going to keep our eye on it. So I'll wait. Thank you for the information and for helping me keep on top of it. You want Rothman to come on? Yeah, we'll see. Okay. No, she says no. All right. It was faster than expected. Yeah. I'm in Florida. I better break out the plywood. Right? Tesla says it could be drastic news. May need to interrupt the spelling bee for it. Yeah, I think we might need to do that as well. I texted Cats and did not text John Rothman, though. We'll see if anyone pops in. B.A. Ware says if it's not a hung jury and there's no way all the jurors say he did nothing wrong, so he's guilty. I don't know. Phineas, thank you for helping me get on the story quickly. Right in the middle of trivia, so I appreciate the help with your eyeballs on the story there. I did send Cats the bat signal. Everyone says, stay cool, people. Mindy's all, stay cool. Do I look giddy? It's breaking news. You know, this is my forte, so maybe I am a little giddy. Not that America has to go through this. Not that someone has to be in trouble. Not about the drain on the America that this whole thing has been. Maybe happy to have a conclusion. So, I don't know. Phineas thinking he's guilty. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Open the wine over here behind me. It might be time for that. Yeah. It can be not guilty due to a technicality. Possible. Yeah. Red phone to Cats quickly. That's true. All right. So far, no word on what the verdict is, but we do know that there is one in this case. The 12-person jury has been considering, of course, whether Trump is guilty of these 34 counts of falsifying business records, all connected to this cover-up with paying off Stormy Daniels ahead of the election. The jury has to be unanimous in its decision in order for a verdict. So, we know Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges. He even denies the affair with Daniels, which doesn't really pass muster with what I think we all know about him. However, that's what the jury had to consider, and the verdict will be read in court shortly, is what we're being told. So, we'll keep a watch on it. We know the Manhattan District Attorney has entered the courtroom. They are all awaiting the verdict to be read at this point. Trump is there, Eric Trump and Donald Trump, Trump's lawyers, and the Manhattan DA. They're all sitting there, and they're just waiting for this. So, again, it's something that we will be following, of course, and information that I hope to be able to bring you within the next 10 minutes before the show ends. So, yeah. Again, the judge is asking for no reactions and no outbursts of any kind. The demeanor of Trump at this point, he was kind of leaning back in his chair. They say he had a straight face when the judge came back and said there was a verdict. And he leaned over to talk to his lawyer, had his hands kind of folded in front of him, leaning on his belly. I don't know what's going to happen, you know? We'll see. They say Trump seems kind of relaxed. And I guess why not be relaxed I always say, don't worry about something until it happens. So until he knows, we were talking about this earlier on the Mark Thompson show. Even if it's a guilty verdict, the appeal could take a really long time. As a matter of fact, could push out past the next election. So he's got a lot of time before he really needs to worry about what the penalty is in this case. Again, we'll keep our eye on the verdict. The judge's clerk just entered the courtroom, so it's pretty close as far as the verdict being read by this jury. William says it looks like he's going to walk. Walter says, I didn't pay attention to the OJ trial, but this one I've been following avidly. You think he's relaxed because he's medicated? Yeah, I don't know. Nikki's going live at 2. Is that right? All right. Well, I like it. Oh, I should have sent her the link as well. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Right now, as a matter of fact, she might be busy right now. I'm not sure, because she was going to interview Loretta Lynch, so I don't know if that is ongoing. But I will send her. She might want to do it on her own show. I don't know. But I'll send her a link as well. So anybody who wants to come and talk about it can come and talk about it. If you guys want to pop in as well, I'll also give you the link, because maybe you have some opinions that you've been itching to share, and I'll put it in right now. Sorry that trivia has, we might have to do a re-rack of trivia for tomorrow. But if you guys want to pop in and say anything about this trial, what your thoughts are, what your predictions are, what you've thought about everything so far, you are more than welcome to join in, and you don't have to use your video. I just need to hear your voice. So, Again, the clerk is in the courtroom, the judge is in the courtroom, the DA is in the courtroom, Trump is in the courtroom, all the necessary parties are gathered, and so we wait to find out exactly what's happening here. There have been a lot of predictions from David Katz, former federal prosecutor, now defense attorney, who we just heard on the Mark Thompson show, and I think he was predicting guilty verdicts in this particular case. It seems like most people I talk to, be it Nikki, Mark, David Katz, don't necessarily think that Trump will be doing any prison time here. What we do know is that with each count, a prison sentence is, there's a maximum prison sentence. And if they were served concurrently, it wouldn't be anything more than 4 years. Although most people think the judge would probably go for something like probation and a fine. Now, we'll see what happens in this particular case. But the world is watching. We've all been on verdict watch, and here we go. So, as we wait to find out more about what's happening here, I would welcome you to pop in. Nikki says she is going to go live at 2 o'clock, and that is just in 3 minutes. So I might pop over to the Nikki Maduro Show here on YouTube. It is the Nikki Maduro Show. You can search it up. And again, we're going to go live on Nikki's show at 2 to either listen to the verdict or react to it for just a little bit. We both have to pick up kids, so we can't stay on for a full hour, but we will stay on as long as we can to cover this story. So again, if you have anything to say, now is the time before we switch on over to the Nikki Maduro Show. Heather says, I'm talking about voting in this election. I'm too scared to vote. I don't want to get my hopes up. Oh, to vote on what you think the verdict will be. Phineas says guilty. Yeah. And let's see, Eileen talking about remembering when the OJ verdict came back quickly. I thought, of course, everyone knows he's guilty. Imagine my anger and dismay, she said, when at that result. She said, hope this isn't a replay of that. Yeah. I mean, our crowd, I feel like our community here is reasonable, thinking, intelligent people, which is why you guys kick ass at trivia every week. And so I don't see any comments about, he's going to be set free. This is all a sham. I think we all know better. All right. I'm going to end the show. I'm going to pop over to the Nikki Maduro Show, and I hope that you will join me, the Nikki Maduro Show, here on YouTube. I will end it. Thank you for being here, and I'm sorry that this kind of put the kibosh on the whole trivia, but we'll get back to it tomorrow. All right. Everyone, have a great weekend, and I'll see you over at the Nikki Maduro Show. But bye for now.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.